is the Riot Podcast. It's the Wednesday, August 17th edition, and Nikki is not here. And when Nikki's away, Isaiah will play. He's filling in. Hello, Isaiah.
Howdy.
How did you, what do you make of the show today?
Oh, it was a grand show, a grand Wednesday. I said in the very beginning of the show that it feels like this week is just flying by. And now like that we are finished with the show, it's essentially Thursday, which you know what I say about Thursday. When it's Thursday and the show's over on Wednesday, it's practically the weekend.
So we're practically at the weekend already.
Yeah, it's pretty much ready for Friday and Saturday. Do you have any big plans for the weekend? We're getting close. At least it feels like it.
This weekend, not as much. I don't know. I might do something.
I got something on Friday we're going to have to talk about soon.
Oh, yeah?
I have my 5-year high school reunion on Friday.
And you're going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to show up. What do you mean?
I don't know. A lot of people don't go to high school reunions.
Well, I've had a pretty good time since high school. You know, I'm still doing well. I'm still I look pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I'm obviously a Hollywood star.
Right.
So I have to show my face
Mr.
back.
Big Time.
Exactly. So I have to show my face back at the at my high school reunion.
Yeah.
And so I live pretty close to where I went to high school too now. So I'm able to slide on over there. But that's something we're going to have to talk about.
You're going to go to your little podunk high school and all. Are you concerned at all, though, that you're Mr. Big Time now, and so all the other people you went to school with are going to see you they're going to look up, down their nose at you in a way of you're too good for our town type thing?
No, I think, everybody loved me, obviously, because I'm a real nice guy. And so I think it'll be one of those things where I've seen a lot of my friends from high school. I see them pretty regularly. It's all the people that I don't really know well. That my high school is super small. So I'm going to see a lot of people that I haven't seen in 5 years.
Yeah.
Who I really could care less if I see them or not.
Well, that's a good reason to go.
Yeah, so I'm going to go and say hi to everybody and see how
do them the honor, right?
Yeah, do them the honor of seeing me.
They probably don't have much going on in their lives. It'll be nice for them to finally see somebody successful and famous like you.
Well, I don't live in that town anymore, so I don't get to see all those people at to the Kroger they get to see each other. So
well, it's also nice to know when you get to be so successul that you haven't forgotten the little folks that help you get there.
I know. I can't imagine
who you are.
When are you gonna? I mean, obviously for you.
Yeah.
When are you gonna go back?
Maybe Labor Day weekend.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps.
Okay. Make a showing.
Yeah.
I bet when you go back, holy moly, they probably call in everybody.
There's a parade.
Is there a SWAT team that brings you in, or how do they
the
protect
cavalcade?
you?
Yeah,
I didn't know for sure.
Yeah, it's a big deal. They people line the streets just to get a glimpse.
Oh, I can imagine.
And so that is what we plan on. Maybe for Labor Day, we might be involved in that.
Oh, that'll be a fun old time.
Do you have any idea what's actually in the show today? Or
yeah, I've got some good stuff in here. We've got some new Girl Scout cookies, which is always an exciting time. How come we never have Girl Scout cookies here? We have a lot of stuff in the break room. We never have Girl Scout cookies, which for me would be grand.
Nobody here in the building that I know of has a daughter or that is in Girl Scouts. So
we need one.
We don't have an easy hookup for somebody to just buy them from.
Dang, yeah.
But it is still inexcusable that not only do we not just have them as an option to snack on, but that we haven't done a food fight with any Girl Scout stuff in a long time.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, so we're going to have to get on
that new one, and we didn't even try it. That brownie thing.
We'll have to.
And so we have this one that maybe we'll try. Maybe we'll try this one.
Yeah, so that flavor will be revealed in the podcast. You're going to have to keep listening to find out what it is.
We also talked about a man who used a certain food item as a weapon. Now, if you were to have to pick one food item to use as a weapon, what would you choose?
Good question. I've already got a great answer. It is fish sticks.
Fish sticks?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem tough enough.
I think it would add insult to injury if you
smell bad afterwards.
And some people are allergic.
Oh, so you're trying to kill someone.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I mean, incapacitate.
You might as well use peanut butter.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Peanut butter comes in a jar. That's got some weight to it. If you get conked in the head with a peanut butter jar,
it busts open all over you. You're
and
allergic,
that's a mess, and that's hard to get out of your hair. Believe me, it's happened to me.
See, I leaned off the rip. The first thing that came to my mind, breadstick, and then I went with something a little bit harder version of a breadstick. Maybe I'm thinking a cucumber. I feel like you could beat somebody with a cucumber.
Yeah, they're not very long though. See, what if you got one of those really long Slim Jims and used it as a whip?
A whip?
Yeah.
I was thinking a
that would
nerd's
leave
rope.
A welt.
I was thinking a nerd's rope.
Yikes.
Because then you really get the action of the whip, you know?
Yeah.
rather than the Slim Jim, which is a little bit more firm. I feel like a Slim Jim could do some damage, though.
Yeah,
it would
those things-
sting, and you'd smell like meat afterwards. A
Yeah,
Slim
those
Jim has a real
things-
pungent smell to it.
They stick on you forever. Well,
Yeah.
not that we're advocating for fighting with food items, even though we literally
this dude
have
just
food
made an
fights
awful
on
choice.
the show.
He picked an awful thing. Apparently, it worked,
It worked.
but I
It
just
worked
wouldn't
well
be
enough to get him in trouble.
It wouldn't be my first choice if I was going to defend myself.
Mhm.
I would have went with a different food item. Maybe
Well-
even gum. I could have used gum.
He first of all wasn't defending himself. And
Yeah.
Second of all, you might have to rethink it because again, it did some damage.
Apparently so.
All right. Well, we'll leave it at that, and we'll just let you go on and enjoy the podcast. Have some fun. Text in and let us know what you thought, or leave a comment or something of that nature. And if you want to text in, it's 877-2-RADIO-U. And Nick, you'll be back tomorrow. We'll have the whole gang together.
We'll see you guys soon.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
National Thrift Shop Day. Isaiah, do you celebrate?
Oh, I celebrate big time.
You're a thrift shopper, huh?
I do like going to the old thrift shops, seeing what you can find in there. I've actually
Yeah.
found some pretty good stuff in thrift shops recently.
Oh, that's surprising. I didn't peg you as a thrifty boy.
See, like whenever I go to like a concert, you know, sometimes if you can find good clothes at the thrift shops, often like if you're doing like a festival for a couple of days or so that you like don't really want to care about having nice clothes on, you can find good stuff at the thrift shop that like it looks really unique and it's good good stuff.
That's true. You want to look good at a music festival until you get muddy and covered in vomit, and then but you don't want those clothes to be. You don't want to care about those getting ruined. So that makes sense. So you go to the thrift shop. Plus, you can get stuff that you wouldn't normally wear. So maybe you're only going to wear it once anyways, whether it gets destroyed or not.
Exactly.
It's not something you're going to go back to. So you get it for a good discount. I mean, I can't argue with that. Well, today is National Thrift Shop Day. I have here a little look at the top cities for if you just want to get out and do some thrifting. Some of the best and worst cities in the country based off of just how many places they have per person for thrifting. Because you think the more places per person, that obviously the more shops you can go find that one gem. I guess maybe you're looking for more diamonds in the rough. So the top city with the most thrift stores per capita, I guess isn't surprising, New York City.
Yeah, that makes sense, I would say, considering that they have. But you think about, too, they have a lot of people there.
Yeah, they do.
So there must be a lot of thrift stores.
That's even more treasure for you to find, though. Houston, Texas came in at number 2. All the big, a lot of the big cities are up here at the top of the list. Los Angeles, San Antonio, and then San Diego. Now, if you're talking the worst places to go thrift shopping, apparently you don't want to go thrifting in Nevada.
Nevada's a no-go?
Nevada is a bad spot for thrifting. They've got the bottom 3 cities, which admittedly I've never heard of. Spring Valley, Sunrise Manor, which sounds like a made-up location for a horror TV show.
Sunrise Manor.
And Enterprise, Nevada, then Miramar, Florida, and Moreno Valley, California. So that's where you're not going to find a lot of thrift shops. A lot of bang for your buck.
You know, I'm always surprised when I go into a thrift shop and I see like really nice clothes in there that people have donated. They're like clearly like never worn or like partially new.
Yeah.
Like they were pretty like recently bought.
Uh-huh.
And it's always so surprising.
I always assume those are from people who died.
Oh, you think so?
That's usually what I think.
See,
I'm like, no sane person would give this away. They must have met an unfortunate end, and their family didn't know what to do with it, so they just put it here.
See, usually I just think that they're like super rich, and they're like, I don't really need this anymore. I wore this nice dress shirt like one time. Here you go.
Some people, I guess, it's a tax write-off. So yeah, you're right. That's actually that's using your money smart. You get the hot, like nice fashion stuff, some good suits. Some smart button-ups.
I've gotten some tables from thrift stores too. Like I've gotten all kinds of stuff.
I've gotten some good furniture deals at thrift shops. Now I'll say you can get some good deals, and I've definitely found some amazing things there. But does it make you sad a little bit when you go to a thrift store? Does it make
like just sad in general?
It makes me sad because for every nice thing you see, there's 50,000 things that should be in the dumpster that should be in a landfill somewhere. And somebody thought it was worth donating. And then somebody at the thrift store thought this is worth putting on the shelf. And also those things that belong in a landfill at one point, might have been filled with a lot of memories. Like they might have meant a lot to somebody.
Yeah, they meant enough for them to donate it and think it was like a good idea to donate it. But I've seen some real junk in some thrift stores that like no one's ever gonna take.
You ever see like family photos in a thrift store and stuff
Family
like that?
photos?
You've never seen that?
I've never seen that.
There's some really like handmade art and stuff like that was clearly made for somebody. I mean, I've been in a few thrift stores in my day. I've seen some sad things. You're like, how could you give this away?
How could you think that somebody else would want this?
You must have ripped. If the person who made this or gave this to you saw this here, it would rip their heart out. I hope that never happens. But that's the game you play when you go to the thrift store.
I love the thrift stores.
It's a beautiful day to go. And if you're wondering if there's any deals today, probably not.
There's always the deal.
It's the same. It's the color tags at the Goodwill, but that's not special. It's just what it always is.
If you want to be cheaper than like $1 a shirt or $5 a shirt, then I think you need to like reevaluate some things.
But I do. I guess I do need to reevaluate.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
Now, this is huge news. We've got a big announcement from Girl Scouts. Isaiah loves Girl Scouts. Girl Scout cookies. And they've announced the new Girl Scout cookie. They're starting to pump out the new cookies where we went years and years, I feel, without getting any additions to the Girl Scout cookie lineup. All of a sudden, this is like the second in the past 2 or 3 years. They've announced that coming in 2023, you will get what they're calling the Raspberry Rally.
See, I don't love the name. That's the first thing that jumps out at me. I like the thought of the cookie. I just don't love the name.
Your problem is the rally part or the raspberry part?
The Raspberry Rally. I don't know. I don't love the rally part.
I feel like that sounds like the most Girl Scout cookie thing they could ever come up with.
Raspberry
calling it a
Rally?
rally. Yeah.
I don't love it.
It feels
like Raspberry Renegade or something.
Renegade.
Something
That's
a little bit more.
That's got an edge to it. Yeah.
I know. Raspberry Rally. They said like is it like a Thin Mint, but like the inside is raspberry instead?
Yeah. I think, what do they say? Like the cousin or the sister?
It's the sister cookie.
The sister to the Thin Mint. Now, I've never considered myself too big of a raspberry fan.
Me either.
They're all right. Raspberry flavored stuff. And I really would never think typically to eat a raspberry cookie. But I trust the Girl Scouts generally. So I think, you got to at least give this a shot, don't you?
Yeah, I think you have to give it a try. But at the same time, I don't think I'm going to like this one. I don't think I'm going to like it at all.
Well, not with that attitude, if you go in thinking that way.
I know, but it's hard for me because I don't love raspberry as is. I do love Thin Mints. I think Thin Mints are very good. But the whole raspberry thing, I don't know if it's for me.
Oh, we got to try it, though. A chocolate-covered raspberry?
Yeah, it sounds good. I like raspberries, like the real raspberries, the fruit, but I don't love, like, raspberry-flavored things.
Well, surely there's actual real raspberries that go into the raspberry rally.
You think
cookie.
so?
There must be, right?
No
it has
way.
to be naturally
It's
flavored.
all artificial for sure.
You think so? Well,
think so.
Whatever the Girl Scouts use to artificially flavor things is so much better than the real thing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Whatever kind of magic and flowers and sun drops they're putting in their cookies to make Thin Mints so good.
So much magic and sunshine.
That is, whatever it is, it's working. And so I do trust that the Raspberry Rallies will be good. So you can look for those once Girl Scout cookies start emerging in the new year. I never, because obviously this might surprise you, I was never a Girl Scout. So
I am a little surprised.
I don't really have a good grasp on when Girl Scout cookie season is. Especially nowadays when you can buy them online, like you can always.
I feel like they're always kind of available a little bit. It's not like in store, but you can get them if you want them.
And then there's like the little flash of when a Girl Scout troop will appear at Walmart outside for like a week.
And then that's the end of the season.
That's it. Yeah. And then maybe you get one knock on your door, but I don't know when that is. Is it October? Is it
I don't know
February?
when it is.
I have no clue.
I obviously wasn't a Girl Scout either. But what was they just came out with what was the last new cookie they came out with?
Didn't they have it was like a chocolate brownie?
Yeah,
chocolate
that's
caramel
what it
brownie
was.
thing?
Yes.
Did you ever try it?
I never tried it. Did
Me
you?
neither. Well, I never saw I have not seen a Girl Scout since they announced that one, whenever that was.
Yeah,
So-
I haven't had a Girl Scout cookie in a while. And you have a favorite, I assume?
Oh, it's the Thin Mint.
Yours is a Thin Mint? Okay, yeah. That's
Yeah.
a solid choice. Mine's probably a tag along, but Thin Mint's right there as well.
The tag along the peanut butter
The
one?
peanut butter one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that, of course, has different names depending on whether you're on the East Coast or West Coast, I think.
Oh, it does?
But I cannot recall what the other name for it is.
Yeah, I think that the Tagalong and the Thin Men, top two for me. This Raspberry Rally, I don't think it's going to be a top one for me.
Well, we've got to try it, which means we've got to find someone who's a Girl Scout, or perhaps maybe somebody who's like daughter, like we have to find a mom or a father of a Girl Scout.
Yeah, just text it. I'm sure there's a listener right
be.
now who their daughter's a Girl Scout will just buy cookies from her.
We will support your troop, whatever troop. Is that what they are? Troops?
Yeah, they're troops.
Yeah, it makes
I
them
think
sound like they're in the
so.
military or something. I think maybe that's by design.
This is the Riot Radio U.
Now, you know the old saying, Isaiah, guns don't kill people, people kill people.
I have heard that, yes.
And so then the thing is, like, if you start taking away guns, a gun is just a tool. And who knows what it can be used for. So if you take that away, what are you going to take away next? What if the next thing after you take away guns, what if it's cheeseburgers? Cheeseburgers can be used as a weapon.
As a weapon?
Yeah.
That's like a pretty crappy weapon.
It works.
Does
Whatever
it work?
works.
In what way?
If you take guns away, people will start using whatever else they can find to hurt people, including cheeseburgers.
I feel like I could think of a lot
In
of things I would
fact,
pick before a cheeseburger, but I guess maybe that's all you got available.
I'm telling you that it's not even if you take away guns. People are already doing this, using cheeseburgers as weapons. Cheeseburgers don't knock people over. People knock people over. We have a man here in Florida, because where else? And this man in Florida is now being charged with battery because he threw a cheeseburger at his girlfriend with such force that it knocked her over the curb and onto the ground. Threw it at her head.
I don't believe this.
You don't believe it?
How is that even possible?
Well,
A cheeseburger is so like a soft thing. It's like she got hit with a pillow.
Well, what if I told you the boyfriend was Aroldis Chapman, reliever for the New York Yankees?
I mean, that may be a little bit more believable, but still, I feel like it would just disintegrate.
It wasn't.
Okay, well, then there you go.
He's not the guy, but it's just some random fella. His name is James Hunt. He's
Jimmy
41
Hunt?
years old. Yeah. And him and his girlfriend got into an argument at one of your favorite places, Burger King.
The old BK.
They apparently the argument is that she didn't finish her food, which I guess that made James, old Jimmy, a little upset. And so
How though? Like Burger King is so inexpensive. Like what? She didn't finish all 8 of her $1.39 nuggets. Like what?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna guess that she probably didn't finish the cheeseburger. Maybe she took a bite of it and realized this is
She didn't like
disgusting.
it.
It's from Burger King.
Fair.
And so she decided maybe she was still hungry, but she wasn't gonna waste her valuable meal at Burger King. She needs to go fill up somewhere else. And so James Hunt got upset. He throws the cheeseburger in question at her and his 53-year-old girlfriend. That's a big difference. And so it knocked her down. It was enough to knock her. The quote
no
is
way.
over the curb and onto the ground.
I don't believe that. It's impossible. Have you ever seen a Burger King cheeseburger? Like in my mind,
Well,
it's like this big. They're tiny.
They don't specify what cheeseburger was. Maybe it was a Whopper.
I mean, even a Whopper. If you threw a Whopper at the back of my head and it hit me, it would not knock me over.
Well, what do you think?
Was she already falling?
What do you think weighs more? A cheeseburger, a Whopper, or a baseball?
I would say
It's close,
it's
right?
like right around the same.
It's
but the
close.
density is
And if
different.
I threw a baseball at
if
your
you
head,
hit me with a baseball, it's a
in the
hard
back
object.
of the head,
It's a hard object.
maybe I just believe it. I can see it happening. And
I
maybe this woman, if
cannot.
she didn't eat her food, maybe she was weak from hunger.
I guess she was super weak.
Or just when it's unexpected, sometimes you get something thrown at your head. I don't care what it is. It's gonna catch you by surprise.
To
It's gonna
knock
throw you
her
off
over
balance.
the curb, and she
enough
fell down.
enough for this guy to get charged with battery, beating up an older woman. I mean, it was his girlfriend, but still not right.
I mean,
Not right.
don't throw cheeseburgers. I feel like you should have learned this in elementary school when you're in the lunchroom and they're telling you, don't throw food, no food fights type deal. Jimmy, you should have learned it then. Now it's costing you now $15,000 bail.
Dang.
That's a big number.
Something tells me if he's eating at Burger King, he can't afford that.
I'm going to say he's probably going to be hanging out in there for at least a little bit.
Yeah, a little while. Well, you know what? He's also ruining burgers for the rest of us, because if he can't behave with them, one day maybe none of us will be allowed to have them. You know, you got to be careful.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U.
Airbnb, you know, they put out a global party ban. They made that permanent. That was like a temporary thing, I think, that really started with COVID, because they didn't want a ton of people congregating. That's how it got rolling. But they've made it permanent, and now it turns out they are testing out new anti-party technology in the U.S. and Canada to try to avoid having party, because, you know, you can ban parties. You can say, all right, nobody have a party, but that doesn't stop people before they have a party. It only gets them in trouble afterwards. So they're trying to, what is that? Like Minority Report style, like predict parties before they happen, and make sure that if you're trying to book an Airbnb for a party, that you won't be able to.
Yeah, but how do you know? You know?
Well, if the person who is booking the Airbnb seems really cool and has a lot of friends, then obviously they can't have an Airbnb.
Clearly, they are not allowed to book it.
If you were going to book an Airbnb, they'd probably say no.
They probably would deny me, because everything that they're describing in the features, like, it sounds like they're just describing me.
Yeah. You want to book it on the weekend?
Under the age of 25.
You're planning on making a crock pot of cheese dip? That sounds like a party to me.
Multiple people going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't, it all adds up here. We can see right through what you're planning here, Buster. And so no Airbnb for you.
Seems kind of ridiculous in my mind because realistically it says anybody under the age of 85, younger guests are prevented from booking large houses.
If you're 86, you can have all the parties you want.
Now, what I do see here, this does make sense. It says you're prevented from booking large houses nearby to where you currently live, which makes sense. Because if you're booking a house like a mile down the road from like where you currently live, like what are you really doing there? You can't just stay at your house. But like if you're like booking a house like in another state or something, that's different. But so if they aren't allowing that, that's not cool.
If you want to book an Airbnb for a party, then, and I'm not advocating that you break the guidelines or anything, but couldn't you just put in that you live at like in Nebraska, even though you don't?
But location services, you never know. They can figure it out.
Well, you don't want them to have the location permissions on your phone.
But they always make it that way, though.
And then what? When you book with the card, they probably look at the billing address. But the billing address doesn't have to match where you actually live always, right?
I just don't understand why you would. I get like why, but also why would you even want to book one that's like next to your house? Like just if you're gonna have a party, just have it at your house.
I don't know if it's your neighbor's house, but
I know,
if it's within the nearby vicinity of your town, because Airbnb typically is for when you need like you're going on a trip, a little bit of a trip, not for when you just want to hop across town.
Yeah, but like it makes it sound like this, like people are like booking a place like 3 streets over to throw a party in so that they can like wreck that house and not their own is what it makes it sound like here.
I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah, but why would you even do that? Like, why would you even
Because
pay
you don't want to wreck your own house.
Yeah, but why wreck the house? Why do you have to have a party and wreck the house?
Listen, it's cheaper to rent an Airbnb than it is to pay for all the upkeep and all the carpets that are ruined by having people over and throwing up everywhere.
I just don't understand why you can't just have a party and not have it be like that, you know? You can't just have a regular party. It has to be like that. Like you can't just have friends over and have a chill time.
You just never know what can happen.
You're right. So they don't want to run the risk. So they're like, we'll ruin somebody else's house.
There could be a lot of people out there that are trying to just have a nice, quiet game of cards with their friends, play some poker or something. And now Airbnb is going to be cracking down on that because it could get out of hand, and they don't want that.
Well, thanks to all these losers. Now I can't book an Airbnb anywhere.
All the losers that have a lot of friends and like to get after it at Airbnbs, ruin other people's property. Now now nobody can have a party unless they do it in their own home and ruin their own home.
Ruin it for all of us.
Thanks for watching the worst of the riot. Since you made it this far, you might as well like, subscribe, and check out riot.radiou.com for even more riot.